Good to go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Minions of the Night. Minions of the Zoo. Damn it. I'm not even Johnny, I'm fucking it up. Number
You want me to-
1976, The Legend of the Legend. Like I said earlier, I am not your host, Johnny Hellcat. He is indisposed at the moment. So you're stuck with me. I'm the Hate Camel, and joining me tonight, Minion Sanguine.
Good evening, all.
And Traveling Exhibit, Travis Gardner. How's it going, Travis?
It's going.
It's going.
I'm
Sanguine,
not in jail.
how about you? You doing all right?
I'm doing grand. I'm just working on making my dinner for this evening. So I just pulled the spaghetti out. I'm throwing it into some crispy garlic chips that I just fried up, a bit of butter, some herbs, a couple additional spices. As my side dish, this is just going to sit, let some of those flavors kind of soak in. Also going to grate some Parmesan cheese while it's still hot. And then chicken currently marinating. And I have a pan in my oven. Then going to be throwing some peach halves into. Dusting them with a little bit of ginger. Letting them bake for a while. Then I'm going to serve those up in a honeyed cream.
I had a burger. What about you, Travis?
I'm the same, actually. I splurged and went to Wendy's.
I went to Brahms like a good Oklahoman.
Meanwhile, I'm eating rather well. Or going to be eating rather well. Yours was done quicker. Mine's going to be done better.
Well, I had to get something in my stomach because I was giving everyone like the 1,000-yard death stare while I was running errands today, and I hadn't eaten anything since yesterday. It's like, yeah, you know what? I should, for everyone's safety, I should probably just go ahead and get something on the way home.
Yeah, that's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, a camel goes straight past hangry to homicidal when he doesn't have his food or nicotine. So
I can definitely understand that when it comes to food. If I'm particularly hungry, I'm an asshole.
yeah, a Snickers won't save you. So
Let me rephrase that. If I'm particularly hungry, I'm even more of an asshole.
I'm pretty sure I put the fear of God into a nurse and at least one cashier today, and I didn't even mean to. So Gray has a rock.
Welcome to the stream, Charlie Brown.
I hope you got like good dental coverage, dude. I don't know how that's gonna work out. Chewing on.
My day consists. My first. I had to go out and change out a heating element in a dishwasher, which no big deal. And then when I showed up at work to actually start the real work day.
Yep.
I went through everything, and there was something in the shop for me to work on, and I'm like, well, I need the parts, so I'm not going to put this thing back together again, and so I left on my route, and I'm usually the first one to get out. Service manager calls me up, and he lays into me about not finishing my work, and if I want to skip things on my route, I might as well just not even come in.
The fuck?
So I'm like, okay, this is it. So the 10-minute drive over there, I pull up, and
This is the day I go in for homicide.
I come up there, and I have like a I pulled right up into the fire lane and stop. And two of his techs were outside smoking before they left, and they're like, "Oh, the lead tech is pulled back up here. He looks very mad."
Mm-hmm.
So I stormed right up in there, and the service manager is sitting in his chair behind the computer as normal. And I just like looked at him. It was like, "Look, you better start changing your fucking tone with me, or we may have a problem."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, "Oh, well, I guess we have a problem then." Okay, you want to start this?
Okay, now when did the ball peen hammer come into play?
It was conveniently laying on a workbench next to me.
Yeah, before the stream started, Travis and I were talking in DMs, and he laid that one on me. It's like, huh.
This man did not pick where he wants to get into an argument very well, did he?
So
What did you say? Something about you're trying to get your finances in order?
trying to
and
get
when
my
you're-
fun.
One of your coworkers suggested not threatening your boss with a ball peen hammer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. That could be a way to get a raise, you know? Just like mafia style. Those are some pretty nice kneecaps you got there. Be a shame if anything happened to them.
No. If you're doing ball peen hammer, then you're doing back rooms at a casino, and you're going for their fingers. Right across the knuckle, a ball peen.
It's an either-or proposition, Sanguine.
No. Knees are normally baseball bats.
You work with what you got, you know?
I suppose, but at least be a bit classy about it. Use the right tool.
Don't
I
let
don't have a bat at work.
don't
Yeah,
let the
that's why you go
perfect
for the knuckles.
be the enemy of the good, Sanguine. Come
I
on.
mean-
Yeah,
Mine-
but you can go for the knuckles and you're just fine.
My attitude problems have prevented me from. They decided not to let me have bats or guns at work for a while.
See, now that's just a shame.
See, my day was just, you know, like I said, I didn't say anything. I didn't threaten anybody. It's just, you know, the look. Like, oh,
Mhm.
I better go ahead and get the fuck out of here. He looks, and the problem is, like, even if I'm not angry, that's just my face, you know. I've had, I don't know how many people walk me like, what's wrong? Nothing. Well, you look upset. That's just my face.
The permanently perturbed look on the face.
No, it's really more of like just kind of a blank, like, yeah, I'm here. What do you want?
Ah.
Like I said, you know, it's that 1,000-yard stare is just completely vacant, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd rather be anywhere else than here right now.
Well, typically at work, yeah.
Well, no, it was one of those days like I had to run errands and pay bills and pick up some stuff from Walmart, and then like I forgot a couple of items, and so I had to go back. And I got one of the items, and I forgot the other item that I forgot the first time around, so I had to go back a third time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the last time, I'm literally just sitting there with, like, a box of watermelon, you know? Like, the pieced up watermelon they have over in the produce section.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a nice lady, you know, in her little scooter chair in the next aisle over. Because I refuse to use the self-checkout.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you want me to steal from you? That's the only way I'm using the self-checkout, is if I'm just robbing you blind. You know? Maybe one out of every 5 items is going, you know, through the scanner.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't work for Walmart, so I'm not bagging groceries for them. Fuck them. I'll stand in line and wait. And this nice lady in the next aisle, nice lady in the next aisle over, she's like, you know, sir, if you only got the one item, you can get in front of me. And I just kind of like looked over, and I just looked through her, and then I turned back to look at the cashier in my aisle.
Nice.
I was like, I'm here. I'm not moving. And my line ended up moving faster than hers anyway, so.
Mm-hmm.
But if, like I said, if I hadn't been, just tired and hangry and everything else, I probably would have been like, oh well, thank you, so on and so forth. But nah, just not today.
Mm-hmm.
And once I did have that delicious Brahms burger, I did feel a bit better.
So I'm guessing this is a Oklahoma only chain.
I think there's a couple in Texas, North Texas, and maybe
Okay.
one in Arkansas.
Maybe in Arkansas. Maybe
Because I've
Kansas?
never heard of this place.
Yeah, it's mostly Oklahoma. Yeah. Do you remember how back in the day A&W tried to sell third-pound burgers to compete with the quarter pounder at McDonald's,
Yep.
and how they couldn't sell them because Americans are shit at math?
Yep.
Brahms sells third-pound burgers,
Oh, nice.
and 2 third-pound burgers, and 3/3 pound burgers.
A pound burger.
Yeah, well, it's a triple third is what they call it, pretty much.
Okay.
So, yeah, you practically have to unhinge your jaw to eat one of those. So,
Oh, ye of little faith.
I'm not doubting you, but I'm just saying, like, you better,
Look, the thing is about Brahms though is that you better time you showing up there just right, because
Oh, yeah, you got to time it just right, because, like, the kid in the drive-thru today, I hated working the drive-thru when I was working fast food as a teenager, so I get it, but, being on the other side of it, and being on the other side of 30 when it happens, I wanted to reach through that fucking speaker and just shake that kid.
Mm-hmm. See, that's
Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? How about, can I get anything else for you, you little fucker? Try and be a little courteous. Come on.
Yep. That's the reason why people like Chick-fil-A so much. Because Chick-fil-A, they're always fucking nice.
I'm
To a
pretty sure they
degree
put
where
crack in
you're
their
going-
chicken, too, from what I've heard. I've not had Chick-fil-A, but from what I hear, it's supposed to be, like, addictive.
Oh, it is fantastic. And the staff, like I said, I'm pretty sure if they're putting drugs in anything, it's in the staff water fountain. Because they're all happy motherfuckers working at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I remember when I was working in fast food, and one of my managers, they noticed that I did not like being on the drive-thru, mainly because here in Oklahoma, a lot of people have diesel trucks,
Mm-hmm.
and they get offended when you ask them, "Hey, shut off your engine so I can actually fucking hear you."
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's some imposition on them. It's like, do you want me to get your order correct? Do you want the right food? Yeah, okay then.
I thought you were going to say that some of them would roll coal on you.
No. I did have one. I did have one drunk Texan on Thanksgiving one year try to pull me through the drive-thru because he got offended that a grande meal didn't come with a drink.
Okay.
You've been to Taco Bell. You know what a grande meal was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, your choice: 10 tacos, crunchy or soft, bean burritos, and I think at the time they had Mexican pizza on there too. Any combination thereof, those 10 items, it's like $10. He ordered 4 of them on Thanksgiving fucking Day, and then he got upset because they didn't come with a drink.
Did he want 4 drinks or did he just want 1?
I imagine he wanted a drink with, it's a meal. It's a grande meal. So I'm imagining he wanted 4 drinks to go with that. And I told him, well, I'm sorry, sir, the grande meals don't come with a drink. You just got 10 fucking items. Cut me some slack here, man. They don't come with a drink. I don't make the rules.
How fucking immense was this person?
Well, it was they were Texans, so there was like 12 of them stacked in that fucking truck.
Okay, so it was for more than just him.
Yeah,
because I was picturing just one dude who was poured into his truck.
No, it was some asshole with his family heading back to Texas from visiting family for Thanksgiving or something like that. You would think that on Thanksgiving, most gluttonous American holiday, people wouldn't be eating fast food, but you'd be wrong. That's one of the busiest days of the year that I ever had working in fast food.
Yeah. When I worked at Taco Mayo, which is another Oklahoma chain.
Yep.
Which,
I miss Taco Mayo.
They're the best.
Ours got closed down. They were not the best, in fact.
Well,
at least according to the health department.
I worked there, and the manager basically just kind of confined me to food prep and doing dishes and cleaning, because for some reason I just couldn't do front-facing anything.
But it was funny because, like, my manager noticed that I did not do well on the drive-thru. I have a decent enough phone voice. Like, if I'm sitting down in an office, I can sound personable and pleasant and whatnot. But on a fucking speaker with people, yelling at me, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
But they did notice a difference in my demeanor sometimes. And it just so happened to be when I was smoking weed. Like, oh, man, you seem, really, really upbeat today. What's your secret? I was like, well, I can work well with people, or I can pass a drug test. I can't do both.
Nice.
I have to pass drug tests because
This was when I was a teenager working in fast food. I didn't give a fuck then.
for some reason I can't come home and smoke a joint and then go the next day and do my job.
Yeah, I never understood
Well,
that.
it's the idea that since you're going into other people's homes, that's probably where the issue comes in.
Well, I'm going into other people's homes that 2/3 of them smell like weed anyways.
Yeah, but they're thinking you're going into other people's homes. People won't trust someone who smokes.
No, what it really is that they're not going to spring for a blood test. So they're only going to do a piss test. Because, that's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And less invasive. And, if you smoke within a month, you're probably going to piss hot unless you've got just a ridiculous metabolism. I used to have it down to a science. I could piss clean within 3 days.
Yeah.
Just drinking tons of water, Monster energy drinks, and sauna.
Okay.
The sauna is a weird thing because I used sauna, and also I would lock myself in the bathroom with the humidifier and the shower and the heater running and just sweat my balls off when I was trying to quit smoking.
Wait, weed or cigarettes?
Cigarettes.
Oh,
You're also
okay.
confused by this as well.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know how it worked. Somebody told me about it. I tried it, and it did. And somebody's like, well, it's probably the placebo effect. Well, I don't care. It worked.
I love how everyone's talking about how they piss different colors. Like, man, back then when I was trying to pass a piss test, it was like a Pink Floyd light show anytime I went to the bathroom. Just turn out the lights and put on Dark Side of the Moon, man.
Whenever I have to go take a piss test for work, I take the Azo UTI medicine and a mega dose of B12. I'm not B12. B6.
I just went with niacin.
Because what it does is it just turns turns your piss just a very, very dark color, and they get very concerned when they see it.
That's why I started drinking Monster in the first place back in college, was because that had niacin in it. And that's good for flushing your system. Cannibalistic B6, bingo!
I just piss normal.
I had like the humongous can of Red Bull today. And I'm like, well, this is making my heart race, so I'll just chase this Red Bull with some propanolol, and we'll even it out. So, not propanol. Energy drinks need to come in the cans like the old Foster's can.
The big ass one?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You get one of those, big cans. I mean, if you don't chug that stuff, you want to drink a warm energy drink, really? I like my caffeine cold.
It already tastes slightly like piss. Do you want to give it the sensation as well?
Oh, yeah. I don't drink monsters for the taste. I mean, ugh.
Yeah. I'm just imagining what it would. How god awful drinking one warm would be with its taste. Because, like I said, that's just completing the one criteria that it doesn't quite have for you to go, hold on a second. Did I grab the wrong bottle from under the desk?
I mean, cold, warm, whatever. It will wake you up. But so will a kick in the teeth. You just, pick your poison.
Yep. I much prefer going for the new energy drinks that are on the market and you see like 12 of them pop up every fucking day. Where it's, buy this powdered mix.
I'm a creature of habit. I'll stick with the one that brung me.
Fair enough. For me, then it would be Surge, and Surge isn't a thing anymore.
Oh, God. Oh, you're giving me non-flashback, Sanguine.
I made my own energy drink once just to see if I could. I just took like 2 packets of BC powder and a droplet full of B12 and put it in Gatorade.
So Gatorade, aspirin, and B12. Oh, okay.
Well,
That's
BC powder also has like 85 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah, it's a caffeine pill with aspirin. I mean,
yeah, that gets the blood flowing.
okay.
You also slightly surprised that he didn't add in a couple Viagra just for good measure?
just walking into somebody's house to fix their refrigerator with a raging heart on.
Yep.
Like that hasn't happened before.
Wait, what did you just say?
I was gonna let it go.
I was just joking about that, but
Sure you were.
Oh, did I ever tell you about the story about the guy that got fired from LG because he was pissing in people's washing machines?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, they caught him pissing at people's washing machines. Like 2 people actually had
Like on the assembly line or in their house?
in their house. They caught him on 2 different people's nanny cams, just unzipping and sticking it into the.
Who has a nanny cam in their laundry room?
A lot of people.
I do have to say, at least he was pissing in the washing machine and he wasn't pissing in the dryer.
Oh no, I mean you gotta go chaotic. Well, I mean, what would that be? Would that be neutral? Evil?
I think that's chaotic evil if you're pissing in the dryer.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to stand on your tippy toes, like with the washing machine. I mean, unless you got like one of those front-loading washers, which.
Yeah, that's what they are, is front loaders on pedestals.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
So, I mean, is that a convenient urinal height?
I mean, otherwise you gotta kind of stand on your tippy toes, kind of arch it up, and gotta get the angle right.
Either that or just be one tall son of a bitch.
I mean, I'm tall, but still, like, you still got to kind of, maneuver a little bit.
But yeah, there's a you'll always I'm every time I'm in a person's house, I just expect to be on camera.
Like, I've never thought about pissing in a washing machine until tonight, but now I'm sitting here doing like the would that be geometry or calculus?
I've thought.
Well, you're trying to figure out. It depends.
That's just like physics a little bit. You got the fluid dynamics
if you're trying
and everything.
to figure out the exact angle that you'd need, then that becomes physics, because now you're doing a problem involving angular momentum and vectors, because you're trying to figure out what vector you need to piss at in order for it to travel the proper distance as it is being pulled down by gravity.
See, I'm wondering if Johnny's even going to bother coming back after this conversation. He's like, yeah, I found the dog, but I think I'm just going to call it a night.
Fuck this.
Yeah. Like I said, if you're doing service work in a person's house, just assume you're on camera or watched. Or there's also like a I explained to one person once, because they're like, yeah, these people always seem to leave cash out on the counter when you're there. And I'm like, yeah, it's
a test. Yeah.
Don't touch it.
Yep. Or if you really want to,
it's so weird. They left their money clip and the family jewelry all just laying out here. Huh.
If you really want to confuse whoever the fuck you're doing work for in the house, though, what you do is
stack
you add
of
a couple
bearer
dollars.
bonds just laying on the dining room table.
They leave money out, just throw a 20 on top.
They come back and they're going,
What the fuck?
Yeah.
If I'm working in the service industry, I can't afford to give them $20. Fuck that.
oh, I'm not saying it's a good financial policy. I'm saying that it is something that you can do for the pure, what the fuck is going on?
I mean,
Which, that's amusing to me.
So, getting away from pissing in washing machines, let's talk about anal cheating in chess. Sanguine, are you familiar with this story?
I'm
It's a little old now, but
concerned with how you started that, saying anal.
well, you should be.
Was
'Cause
someone hiding extra pieces up their asshole?
no. So like a month ago now, was it Magnus Carlsen is the guy? I guess is the big swinging dick in the chess world these days.
Okay.
I don't know. I enjoy playing chess, but I am not keeping up with I'm not trying to find Bobby Fish or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But this Magnus Carlsen dude, apparently he's a big deal in the chess world. He was at some tournament where he got beat by a guy named Hans Niemann.
Okay.
And it was an upset. Like nobody, statistically, he was not supposed to beat this Magnus Carlsen dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he was immediately accused of cheating by using a vibrating anal sex toy and AI.
Oh, okay.
So somebody
Morse
would be
code
running
through the sphincter.
Yeah, somebody would be running this AI to determine what moves he should make, and they were relaying it to him through a vibrating butt plug, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten to the point where now, like, they are like X-raying his ass before he is allowed to compete.
That's like the.
Like, how
opposite.
bad do you want to win, sir?
That's the opposite of. I'm trying to remember who it was against. It was some ruler that
people wanted to say that they had made a machine that could play chess against him.
Oh, was it Deep Blue?
No, Deep Blue was the legit one. There was one before that in like the Middle Ages.
Oh,
Or
in
the
Middle
Renaissance.
Middle Ages, really?
It might have been Napoleonic era.
Okay.
And
So we're talking, what, like 1800s?
yeah, they claimed that they were able to get a machine that could play chess. And the way that they did it was they hit a dude underneath the table. And
No one thought to check underneath the table first before this, like...
it was an entirely enclosed contraption that they were claiming. And they were doing it's very proprietary and specialized knowledge, so don't bother trying to putz about. You break it if you open it up. And yeah, it was just some dude hiding under the table.
With a magnet.
He was a very good chess player, hiding under the table, and he was competing against this one ruler. It might have been Napoleon. I'm trying to remember who the fuck it was. It was either Napoleon or a sultan of some sort. And it was just this rather good chess player hiding underneath the table, controlling where the pieces got moved.
But yeah, the reason why I thought of
For
that
a
was 'cause I was-
while.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the reason why I thought of that story was because I was scrolling Twitter, and report claims chess prodigy Hans Niemann cheated online in 2020. And so yeah, like this dude's he's got a history of cheating, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's shoving stuff up his ass to get an advantage. Yeah, you gotta want to win. You really gotta want to win, or you just gotta be a little bit kinky. One of the two.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's a couple different reasons why you might shove a sex toy up your ass.
I mean,
Winning is not the first one that I would think of.
there are, but I'm assuming this wasn't just like, oh well, I forgot to take that out before after last night's extracurricular activities.
Well, there's a part of
I'm
the
not
story
saying-
that I missed here.
What?
I'm not saying that it was an accident that it was up there. I'm saying that I don't think you come up with that idea
Wait, Johnny,
unless you're familiar with it to another extent.
had you not heard this story, Johnny?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Oh, okay. So, quick recap. Guy named Carlson, Magnus Carlson. I keep wanting to invert his name. Magnus Carlson got beat by this guy named Hans Niemann in a chess match at some tournament somewhere. I don't know. It could have been Bangkok. It could have been Hastings. I don't remember exactly where. But yeah, he gets beat, and immediately they start accusing the Hans Niemann dude of cheating because it was statistically improbable that he would have beaten Carlson. And immediately they started accusing him of having a vibrating butt plug in his ass, and somebody using AI to feed him moves to make through, like, I don't know, Morse code or something.
In his butthole.
Yeah. And like it got to the point where like they accused him so much that like the next tournament he went to, they were X-raying his ass to make sure there was nothing up there before he could play.
So there's
Wow.
several things that bother me with this story. First off, if it's true, what the fuck? Second off, why
Hey
was
man, if you ain't
that
cheating,
the
you ain't
immediate-
trying.
Why was that the immediate response that, okay, he cheated, I got it. Remote controlled ass plug.
I don't know how they got there, but somebody somewhere's like, hey, I don't know, man. Maybe it was the way he was walking after that victory. It's like little bit of a wide gait you got there, sir. What's going on?
I don't I don't know if chess has any kind of professional organizations or not.
Oh yeah, yeah they do.
But if I caught a player cheating with a butt plug, and I wouldn't feel the need to X-ray him before he plays again. I would just say you're not playing again.
Yeah, I would say you're not playing again, and also, if I was going to allow him to play again, fuck having the dignity of going through an X-ray. No. You're doing the good old nuts and butts in prison procedure.
Well,
Shuck off your clothes, squat in front of this guard.
Yes, yeah. And spread your cheeks and lift your sack.
Yep.
No.
Nuts and butts.
Speaking of cheating, did you guys hear about the fishing tournament?
I did hear about that.
You did hear about that one? What about you, Sanguine?
I have not. Please,
Travis,
elucidate.
are you familiar?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Well, for Sanguine, there was a fishing tournament in Ohio where I can't remember. Like these guys are pretty highly ranked as well. I don't know what their rankings were in this particular competitive fishing organization, but they were high up there. And somehow they managed to win this tournament, and their catch weighed like almost twice what like the second place guys weighed, and their fish weren't all that big. So immediately, you know, pardon the pun, but it smelled a little fishy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And somebody comes around, another competitor, and they take their catch and they start gutting it right there, and they found weights.
Lead weights.
Yeah, they found lead weights. They even found like frozen fillets of other fish stuffed in their catch. And those guys are now facing felony charges.
Oh shit! Felony charges. Goddamn.
Well, yeah, like they won like was it like $5,000, something like that. So yeah, like I don't know if it's like fraud charges or what exactly, but yeah, they're.
Oh, so are they thinking that it's multiple times that they've done this, or are they thinking this is the first time?
I don't know. I mean, they cast a doubt on their other. I think they had won other tournaments, but I think it's because it's like, you know, they were defrauding, you know, the other competitors and the organization of the winnings.
I suppose.
It puts many different meanings to the scales of justice.
Nice.
Yeah,
I was
Assassin's
just
right.
thinking-
$5,000 is not nearly enough for that kind of risk, man. Can you imagine, like, you know, you get charged, you get convicted, you know, you get sent up the river, and your cellmate is like some 300-pound, you know, Aryan Brotherhood enforcer. Like, what are you in for?
A
Fishing.
stuffed fish. And actually, no. If you get locked up for fishing, I'm willing to bet every gang in prison will want you to be a
Their
member.
fish?
Because, do you guys know what fishing is in prison?
No. I mean, I know what a fish is. I don't know what... am I along the right lines here?
Nope. Fish just means that they're brand new, that they're fresh meat.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that, you know, thanks to Shawshank. But go ahead. What is fishing in that case?
Fishing is when you're in a cell block, the cells aren't able to pass shit between them, or shouldn't be able to pass shit.
Throwing the line down the block?
Yep, it's being able to throw the line and get it to who you want it to go to.
See, I've always heard of it as like flying kites.
Nope, kites, at least at the prison that I worked at, kites were the actual letters that they were allowed to write, were called kites.
Yeah.
And then fishing
I guess Oklahoma, we got different nomenclature down here. I've always heard of it called flying kites.
Yeah, we called our in-prison letters that you're able to write, kites, and then its fishing was throwing out your line and seeing what you bring back. So there's a chance that he would actually be fairly popular in a prison.
Assassin. Damn it! Now you got that stuck in my head. Oh hi, oh hi, oh.
Nice.
I used to have to when I did TV work, I used to have to service the clear plastics case TVs.
Yep.
They would break the.
I don't even want to know what they were watching if you got to have a clear plastic case on it.
Oh, it's so that we can look at the TV and see if they've tried to stash anything in it. So
Oh, you mean like it? So it's just completely clear, see through. Okay.
Yep, you can see all the components.
See, I was thinking like a phone case, something that goes around the actual TV.
Oh no.
I personally, I don't.
There's weird shit that they did do, like I saw a guy fucking a sandwich. I also saw a guy who really fucking confused me. Because as I was on rounds, he was masturbating to a Reese's peanut butter commercial.
Why they are
And-
good.
The moment
They're not that good.
that it went off that commercial, he just stopped. And that confused me because why the fuck are you masturbating to Reese's peanut butter cups?
He wanted to put his peanut butter in some chocolate. I mean, that makes sense. I have more questions about the dude fucking the sandwich, to be honest.
I'm just concerned whether or not he ate it.
Roasty. I guess I'm the only one got that.
No, I got it.
It just wasn't funny, I guess.
I was just thinking about, everything reminds me of her.
Mm-hmm. Like a poorly packed sandwich.
I do enjoy some Reese's, but not nearly that much. No.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's the thing that confused me.
I mean, at least like if it was like an M&M's commercial, I could understand. Maybe you got a thing for the green one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're batting for the opposite team, and you think red's kind of sexy. I don't know, but I mean, at least there's something there, right?
Maybe you're feeling predatory and you like the yellow one.
Goddamn.
I mean, Sanguine didn't work at Oz.
Oh, you'd be surprised how many
I was just
cases we had.
I was just thinking of Dean Winter's brother. Shit, what is that dude's name?
O'Reilly.
Yeah,
that was in the.
Well, no, like they're both in Oz, and
I know.
His brother played his brother.
O'Reilly was the name of the character, though, not the.
His brother played with Cyril O'Reilly, yeah. And he ended up getting like brain damaged.
Dean
and they both popped up on an episode of Law and Order SVU too. Only they weren't playing brothers.
I was really worried where you were going to leave off with that. And then
Well,
you
they're
just
both playing
dropped
cops. They're both playing cops. But no, like a funny thing was like he got raped by J.K. Simmons.
it. Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. Like all those years seeing J.K. Simmons playing, Dr. Skoda, and then going back and watching Oz for the first time. I was like, oh, he played a Nazi.
Scott William Winters.
Scott Winters. It's always like those basic ass names I can't ever remember. But yeah, like he was a Nazi rapist. It's like that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Still a good show though, and all the people that were in that show, ridiculous, man. Like everybody from like Law and Order pretty much, or Law and Order SVU, and Catherine Irby from Criminal Intent. She was in there for an episode or two.
That makes sense as a cross pollination, though.
Yeah. I mean, let's see, Christopher Maloney, a bunch of people that end up working for Dick Wolf.
Rita Moreno.
Yeah, it would have been strange, and I would have been going, okay, yeah, you're right. That's a bit weird. All the people that were in that show. If you were like, yeah, it had the entire cast of the Golden Girls, and you're going, wait, Betty White was in Oz? B. Arthur was in Oz? What the fuck? That would have been weird. But
oh man, yeah, Betty's calling top bunk. You know that, right?
Oh no, B. Arthur has top bunk.
Nah, Betty's making B. Arthur her bitch. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, that's gonna.
Oh, I disagree.
Someone's walking out bloody. That's all that matters.
B. Arthur seems like the sort of bitch that could roll someone.
Yeah,
especially
but I mean,
since she was a Marine.
I think Betty's so unassuming. Like she could shiv you without you even noticing until it was done.
I suppose. But yeah, that's one thing that I still find amusing. How many people don't know that? B.
Arthur was Marine.
Yeah.
I mean, I buy it. I mean, there's a bunch of actors that were actually Marines, like Gene Hackman, Harvey Keitel.
I still find it hilarious the number of people that were going, there's no way that Drew Carey was a Marine. Then he slimmed down, and they're going, okay, yeah, he was a Marine.
Oh no, man! I saw his picture from boot camp.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a stone cold killer right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just find it funny because there were a lot of people going, okay, I can't imagine him as a Marine. I know people say that he was a Marine, but I can't picture it. And then he slims down, and suddenly all those people shut the fuck up.
No, when he slimmed down, I was like, oh my god, does Drew Carey have cancer? What's going on here? He looks sick. But yeah, you see him with that fucking, that high and tight. It's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Riggle.
Yeah.
He ended up being like a lieutenant colonel. I mean, I think he might still be in the reserves. Oh, do you not know who Rob Riggle is?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I just don't remember his rank.
Let's see.
I know he was at least a lieutenant colonel. I don't know if he made full bird or not.
Military career. He joined the Marines.
He was actually involved in. He was in the initial invasion of Afghanistan.
He is a member of the Marine Corps Reserve.
And then they made that movie about the Green Berets, the horse soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up playing a lieutenant colonel. Okay, he ended up playing his boss.
Nice.
In that movie, yeah.
That has to give you a little bit of a butt pucker factor.
Which part? Playing your boss or
playing your boss
in the invasion?
Playing your boss that
anymore.
Was in the invasion.
Let's see.
That's the thing that has to give you a little bit of butt pucker.
I don't know. I think that's kind of gives you the confidence. Like, yeah, I'm definitely getting this part. I got it down pat. I know all the mannerisms.
I'm not saying that you'd be nervous that you couldn't get the part. I'm saying that you'd be nervous because you're going, okay, if I fuck this up,
there's a Green Beret out there who's gonna be really pissed.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Looking at awards and decorations now. You guys might be able to tell me how this stuff works because I have no idea.
Sanguine's gonna have a better shot at than I will, and Assassin definitely would.
Yeah, Assassin's going to be the best. But...
He has 4 rows of awards and decorations.
Okay.
First row, Meritus Service Medal with 1 gold award star.
Okay.
The next section over it says Navy Marine Corps Commendation Medal. And then third shows Joint Service Achievement Medal.
So-
second. Oh, go ahead.
The modification on awards when it comes to the Marine Corps, you typically have to earn that shit. So a gold star on something is a good indication. It's kind of like how the bronze, silver, and gold star. If you get one of those in the Marine Corps, you did some shit.
Wait, there's a gold star? I heard the bronze and the silver. There's a gold one?
Let me quickly double check. I'm almost positive it was bronze, silver, and gold.
Well, he's got. Let's see here.
I just think that it hasn't really been
Gold stars, and there's a
Given
service
out
star,
much.
and there is a campaign star. 2 campaign stars. Just on this one.
I know that there's, let's see, gold, military medal.
I've heard of like a bronze star with, bronze star.
Yeah, you can get bronze
Valor,
and silver,
silver
and
star.
those.
Like, what the fuck do you got to do to get a gold star? Like, you got to
Quickly
invade a
double
country
checking.
by
It might
yourself?
be one of the ones that was.
Assassin's saying, remember, a bronze star without a for valor modifier is a participation trophy for officers.
Yep.
So let's see here.
And it is congressional medal. Okay, yeah, it was. Okay, yeah, there's the congressional medal, which is a gold star, but it's different deal. Then there's the Distinguished Service Cross, the Distinguished Service Cross again, but it's a different modification on it. And then it is the silver. Okay, yeah, my mistake. It goes to silver. The gold. There is the family members can get the gold star thing. You do not want to get the gold star thing because that means that your family member died in service.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I could think of when you said gold star. I was like, okay.
Yep.
Oh.
But bronze and silver. Those, if you get them in the Marine Corps, it means that you did shit. That isn't the case in every branch.
But yeah, he's showing here, 1 gold star for the first row, and then the Navy Marine Corps Commendation Medal, and then the Joint Service Achievement Medal.
Oh, and that's the other thing. I was mentioning the modifications. When you get the gold star on another ribbon, that's a modification of it.
Is the second
The
row?
The only modification I know of, aside from the V for Valor, is the mustard stain for the paratroopers.
Mm-hmm.
That means you actually did a combat jump, if I'm not mistaken, right, Assassin? Wait for that delay.
Let's see here. So second row, Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with 1 gold award star. Combat Action Ribbon, National Defense Medal with 1 service star. Third row, Kosovo Campaign Medal with 1 campaign star. Afghanistan Campaign Medal with 1 campaign star. And Global War on Terrorism on Television. Global War on Terrorism Service Medal.
All the ones that you just mentioned, that just means that he was activated and sent over. Yeah.
And then fourth row, Humanitarian Service Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Medal, and NATO Medal for former Yugoslavia.
Oh, that's interesting. Assassin says, the mustard stain combat jump star. Said he got one. No one cares. The only reason why I know about the mustard stain was listening to the Team House podcast with Jack Murphy and Dave Park. Not that Jack Murphy.
Real Jack Murphy.
Real Jack Murphy. Yes. The real Jack Murphy.
Not the one who wants people to fuck his wife?
Not that one, no. Matter of fact, I about laughed my dick off when I was scrolling through Twitter when that whole thing happened. And the Jack Murphy that I follow, he's like, so what the fuck's going on here? Like, who is this asshat, and why is he using my name? But no, they told a story about where I can't remember where the Rangers were jumping into. If it was it Panama or Grenada? I can't remember where.
Granada?
Is it? Are you shitting me right now? I've always heard it called Grenada.
Every time I've heard it referred to, it's Granada.
I've always heard Granada.
I want to keep calling it Grenada.
A grenade
Anyway.
is what you throw.
Well,
An Italian Grenada is what you throw.
either way, they were jumping into one of those third world shitholes,
It's a Grenada.
and one the way they start telling the story is like, one guy, he just falls to the floor of the plane as they're getting ready to jump out, and everyone hears him saying, I quit, I quit, I quit. And so they're just like kicking the shit out of him as they're going, down the ramp to jump out of the plane. They misheard him. He said, I'm hit, I'm hit, I'm hit.
Damn.
Apparently he caught flack, and yeah. And then he caught an ass whooping. But they, somebody went ahead and gave him, mustard stain. And so he's sitting there in formation when they're back on base. And, I can't remember, sergeant, whatever, rank it was. This is little, like, was he like a Filipino dude? And he walks up to this dude who's still on his crutches. He's got, his legs all fucked up, and, he's, black and blue from just getting boots up his ass left and right. And, and his, broken English is like, did you jump out of the plane? No, Sergeant. And he just ripped that shit right off of his chest. No jump.
And yeah, assassinates. The Distinguished Service Cross is one up from silver, right? Because he did comment on that. Just wanted to make sure.
So that's the only thing I could say that would conflict with Assassin saying that no one cares about the mustard stain. Apparently, the Rangers back in the day, they cared.
Yeah, the thing is that a lot of the awards and medals have started getting handed out, and that is causing them to be devalued.
Ooh, I would love to get Assassin on here and just let him rip about the fitness standards going forward.
Oh yeah, that is a shit show.
Because
it's like everyone when
I'm a fat ass and a committed smoker, and if you're telling me that I could hack it, we're not in a good place, fellas.
when the Air Force went to, oh yeah, you can run this shit on a treadmill, or I think they did stationary bike at one point. People laughed their asses off at them, and then apparently higher ups decided we're gonna do that. Fuck you.
Well, what got me was I had a buddy I grew up with, elementary school all the way through like college, and he went off and he joined the Army after college, and he went into the MPs, and I saw him. Oh, I don't know, 2-3 years after college. So this would have been, I don't know, 2011, 2012-ish. And it's like, I'm sitting here, I'm working at a gas station, ain't shit going on around. Like, I probably should go ahead and do something, get out of here, College didn't take, so, I don't know, I mean, bunch of dudes I went to school with, they joined the Army. And then I see my buddy, he comes back into town, visiting family and everything. It's like, hey, man, I'm thinking about joining up. And it was like that scene from Billy Madison. It's like, you know, just shaking the kid by the face, like, don't do it.
Mm-hmm. And
For the love of God, just stay here as long as you can.
To comment on what Assassin just said, Assassin said that good men are going to die because weak men and weak women can't keep up. And yeah, that's been the main argument against it for goddamn ages. And
that's why I love the Marines. Like, they were like the last holdout with the female standards and everything.
Yep, and do you remember what the Marines did when they heard that women were going to be opened up for combat roles?
I know like the difference between, like, you know, like the men had to be able to do however many pull-ups and the women had to do just like a dead hang.
Well, bent arm hang, and that wasn't what I was referring to. The thing that I was referring to is when they heard that women were going to be opened up to combat roles, the Marine Corps went, okay, shit, let's figure out combat effectiveness. So they made a bunch of different types of units. They did a co-ed unit effectively.
Yeah.
They did the all-male, and they did the all-female, and they did several rounds of each.
And the all-male kicked ass. The mixed one was like, you know, the guys pulled the slack for the women, and the all-women was just like, you bitches are going to die.
You're wrong, actually.
No?
The most combat effective was the men.
Mm-hmm.
The second most was just women.
Oh, really?
The least combat effective, according to their trials, was the co-ed. Because what they noticed is that all men, if it required pushing on and then coming back for someone after, because you don't leave them there for all time, but if you need to get this shit done, and you need to get this shit done or else other people are going to die, then you will come back. Men were willing to do that with other men. Women were willing to do that with other women. Men weren't willing to do that with women.
They weren't willing to leave them and then come back for them?
Yep. So their combat effectiveness plummeted. They had it where the co-ed could have more equipment that they could carry because the men were able to carry more than the women.
Okay,
so
1 second.
When you looked at how much they could carry, all men carried the most, co-ed carried the second most, women carried the least. But then, when you looked at combat effectiveness, it was men, women, co-ed.
Assassin's saying over 30 Navy SEALs were forced out over the jab. I could have sworn I read that got reversed. I could be wrong, but I swear I read that. I don't know. I want to say it was sometime this past month. Like they were trying. I think they were trying to get was it religious exemptions or something like that. And I could have sworn that went to court. I could be wrong.
About it. I can't remember the outcome.
Oh, speaking of the SEALs, they had a death after Hell Week here that was publicized. Apparently, dude finished Hell Week and then like died from bacterial pneumonia.
Not a fun way to go.
No, because I was reading.
You got encephalitis.
They said something about pneumonia. They didn't mention encephalitis.
Sorry, bacterial pneumonia. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking paramecium, and when you die of a paramecium, it's gotten into the brain in encephalitis.
Yeah,
I was just thinking of something else. Sorry.
Assassin said men die in training a lot more often than people think. Yes, but I think in the article I read, they were saying like with the SEALs, I think it was like 10, like in buds, not just training in general, but in buds training, I think they had like 10 deaths going back to like the 50s. So that's with this guy, apparently, like I said, he got secured for the end of Hell Week, and he went back to the barracks. They said they pulled him off twice Friday morning to take oxygen, and he went back. He finished. They secured the class for Hell Week. He went back to the barracks. They were under observation. Apparently, he was just like coughing up like bloody mucus into a Gatorade bottle. They said he was swole up like the Michelin Man. I was like,
Bad way to go.
why aren't you guys sending him to the infirmary? I get it. This is yeah, assassin. And also they were mentioning like there was like some kind of I don't know, like they had the training command medical staff, and then like the I guess special warfare medical staff. I guess they weren't communicating with each other, and so like they've changing policies and CYA and all that stuff. But I was like, damn, that really sucks, because that sounds like a guy you definitely want, like he made it through and then died. It's like, damn, tragic.
Yeah, that fucking
It's like a 24-year-old kid too.
The thing is, though, there's a vaccine for
Bacterial pneumonia.
yeah.
Well, pneumonia is just a symptom progression. It isn't a specific.
Well, no, like I've taken Nana Camel to her doctor's appointment. They've asked like, did you get the pneumonia vaccine? I was like, there's a pneumonia vaccine? When the fuck did this come out?
There's a vaccine to to a bunch of the things that can cause pneumonia. But pneumonia is fluid in the lungs.
Yeah.
So there's other things that can cause it. You can get a vaccine against the most common causes of it, which is slightly different than getting a vaccine against it, if that makes sense.
Well, neither Nana Camel or I had heard of a pneumonia vaccine until after, the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of gave it the side eye when they're like, "Have you had this?" No. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, like I said, what it is it's a vaccine against things that commonly cause it. Because you can get pneumonia from damn near anything that can cause an upper respiratory. If it progresses to severe enough point, it can become pneumonia. Or not an upper respiratory, but a respiratory infection in general. Upper respiratory is less likely than lower respiratory.
Since we got Assassin in chat and we're talking about military stuff, I did get a good chuckle hearing that trans women still got to register for the draft.
Mm-hmm. I was laughing when that first came out of Ukraine and people were losing their goddamn mind. When it was people were trying to flee Ukraine.
I just want to see the look on the Russian soldiers' faces when they go to rape one of the trans women. Like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, people were flipping out because they're even press ganging women, and I'm going, no. No.
It reminds me of a Monty Python skit.
Well, before you get to that, I just want to say it's like, I remember when like my draft card came in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do shit. I didn't didn't go to any websites. I didn't fill out any forms. Guess what? They sign you up automatically.
In most areas, yes. There are some areas because there are things that will punish you if you don't register.
Yeah. You, like, because I mean, I still get ads on the radio talking about selective service. You won't be able to get, a driver's license. You might not be able to get financial aid for school. So make sure you sign up for the draft. And it's like, like I said, at least in my area, I said I didn't do a damn thing, and it's like, okay, well, you're signed up.
I had to go to
whether
the
you want it or not.
office.
There is a little bit of an age difference between us, though, Travis.
Yeah, my when they were talking about, it's like, it would be constitutional to make women sign up for the selective service.
Oh yeah, I had that argument in like junior high with a bunch of girls, because they were wanting to talk about women's rights and everything. I was like, well, what about women's responsibilities?
Yeah, that's the thing. We uncoupled. It used to be that, going back to a certain point, it was that it wasn't coupled as a responsibility because draft was just, you're a dude in the country. Then for a while, it became a responsibility that was coupled to the right to vote. Was you had to sign up for the draft in order to be eligible to vote. And then after that, we decided to uncouple it again so that we could give women the right to vote without having women have the responsibility to deal with a draft.
Well, now,
oh yes, Assassin. I was living the memes before they were actually memes.
When I brought that up with Rob, and she's like, well, we should just do away with the selective service in the draft. I'm like, no, that's not how we're going to play this. We were all under threat to be drafted, but now that women can get in, you don't get to do away with it.
Yeah,
no, I don't want women on the front lines. I don't want them in combat roles. But I mean, you can drive a truck. You can, you can do logistics.
I'm trying to remember
the supply corps.
Assassin.
I mean,
what was the name of the female pilots that would shuttle planes from base to base? World War II?
Wax. What
Was
it?
I know there was the Wrens for the UK. And I'm trying to remember what the American one was.
Well, there's a history channel on here, Mark Felton.
Oh, I was right.
Okay, it was
Air
just
Corps.
whack. Yeah.
Mark Felton, and he had a video the other day that was treatment of Soviet female prisoners in German hands, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to watch that one because I know exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about female Soviet prisoners in German hands. I don't want to hear about German prisoners, German women in Soviet hands. I know where that road leads. I don't want to hear about it. But yeah, like I said, I don't want them serving in combat roles. But yeah, drive a truck, fly a plane, plenty of shit you can do, ladies. Equal rights, equal fights.
Now,
Equal rights, lefts, and uppercuts.
I would be fine if they made it so that women could be drafted, and then after making it so that women could be drafted, then started working on just getting rid of the draft. Absolutely, no problem. But you don't get.
I say keep it. I say we all suffer.
yeah, keep it.
It's one of those things that it's better to have in case you need. But
Treat women like they're disposable, like we've been disposable for millennia.
But the thing that I'm getting at is I would have less of a problem with the people that are advocating for getting rid of it if they were going, okay, yeah, this is fair is fair. Women are able to serve in combat roles. Women have to be drafted, but we also need to get rid of the draft This we can do right away. Get everyone back up to par, and then work on getting rid of the draft. Those people would be going, okay, yep, I can understand this position. But the people that didn't say a goddamn thing about the draft, right up until, hey, you know that you'd be eligible for the draft now? Oh no, we shouldn't have a draft. We need to get rid of the draft. Fuck you.
Nah, bitch, you're going on KP.
Yeah.
Oh, as I was saying, we were talking about the transgender having to be drafted. It reminded me of the Monty Python skit, the military fairies.
Mm-hmm.
I always think about Klinger.
I posted that in chat. If
Assassins say, you know, a few American women and men who survived the experience since Operation Desert Storm have been sexually assaulted. And even Bo Bergdahl, which, yeah, zero sympathy for that guy. But, now, Assassin, did you ever go through SEER? Do you know if they deal with that subject matter in SEER training?
It's
Oh, not fancy enough to go to SEER school? Well,
there's a lot of shit that people want to pretend doesn't happen. And the damnable thing about reality is it has a way of asserting itself if you
Damn it.
try to ignore it.
oh.
And that
Try to burp and
drives
cough
me
at the
crazy.
same time. That's not fun.
But yeah, that just drives me crazy because they want to act like, oh yeah, there's just because we say that this shouldn't happen or it doesn't happen means that it doesn't. No. If it does, you have to engage with the reality of it happening. And you have to realize what the fuck what you're currently doing will end up resulting in.
All right,
Don't
well,
get to just stick your head in the sand and go, well, we don't like it. Doesn't matter if you don't fucking like it. What matters is it a thing?
I bet you Hans and Emu would like it.
God damn it.
well, I hate to call it, but I have a upset wife now, and I have to go take care of things. So,
Did you find the dog?
we did not find the dogs.
Okay.
Wait,
you
dogs
go find
plural?
the dog.
Yes.
Oh.
You go find both of the pooches.
Yeah, so I'm going to go take another lap around and see if I can find something.
Yeah.
Well, happy hunting, man.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck on that, man.
But, yeah. Parting thoughts? Travis?
Pass.
Sanguine?
I'll go with my standard of if you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you. Also, because I just saw this Green Badger Outdoor say, I heard Mike from Grand Thumb channel mention a woman in SEER school, and I remember hearing about that as well. I'm hoping that it doesn't end up like, what was it, the woman in Ranger School, that she was making it through by all accounts, and then they started lowering standards, which made it have everyone, more women got in, and everyone started looking at all the women in it, kind of slantwise. because they lowered the standards. So the one who would have made it with the previous standards is now going to be in question the entire fucking time.
See, I
That's
heard
a
there
problem
were
with
two
lowering
that made it
standards.
through Ranger School.
Was it 2? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember
I
there
heard
was at least
2.
1. So it was 2, and yeah, like I said, the problem is the same thing that we have with colleges now, where we had a bunch of really impressive colleges that if you said that you graduated from them, that was a big deal. And then they started lowering standards, and now you hear that people graduate from them, and if they aren't a white or Asian male, you're suddenly going, okay, did you actually? Would have you actually? Rather than just being able to go, yeah, you graduated from that? Welcome aboard. Puts everyone into question. Which is fucked.
But, yeah. So, I'm a bit distracted. I got nothing. But
I'll just say that really? Okay.
I was going to say
Just
Camel.
gonna skip you.
I was just gonna say that if Assassin or anybody else wants, in chat wants to shoot the shit, I'll be in the Discord. I just waiting to see if Monkey goes live. So.
All right.
Copy that.
And with that, the zoo is closed. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Later, everybody.